Hey, what is up guys? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another GT7 video. This time though, it's something a little bit different. So believe it or not, although I cover this game almost every day, I don't actually own all the cars in the game. And sometimes one slips through the cracks that I never actually thought I'd need. And today is that car, and it's finally returned to Gran Turismo 7. So if you didn't know, this car here is actually needed for one of the extra cafe menus, and since that cafe menu has been in the game, the car's actually not appeared at all. So if you missed it, you literally had no way of completing it up until really yesterday. Now, whilst I'm on this topic, I do want to say there's a great little website that I'll try my best to link in the description that actually tells you which cars are coming and which ones have kind of been away for the longest period. Currently, it's actually the Pikes Peak, which hasn't been in there since July. So we're going to jump in and actually go and purchase this car, finally keeping myself at that 100% completion in terms of the game. So we're going to jump in and buy the, obviously the Porsche Spyder Type 550-1500 RS 55. As you can see, it comes in at quite a pricey 4.5 million. Obviously a beautiful classic looking car, but yeah, in terms of its performance, nothing to really write home about. But this does manage to essentially keep me at that 100% completion in terms of, well, everything to do within GT7. The only thing I've got left is to just collect all the cars. So we're going to jump in and actually go over to extra menu 9. Now we can finally complete it, and good old Luca, for the first time in a long time, he's going to pop up and tell me that once I've collected my prizes, he's got something to tell me about these cars. So I'll actually go through it with you. Again, at this point, I was just excited to, continue my 100% completion, having everything done and dusted up, obviously, until the next update comes along. So we've completed the midship Porsche extras menu. So let's see what Luca's got to say. So poor Luca, he's not been very busy since the days of the roulette ticket glitch. He's not really appeared too many times. And yeah, he has to say, what a timeless and valuable collection of midship Porsches. I guarantee you'll be the envy of every serious car collector. Now, if you recall the Porsche 911 menu book I had you complete a while back, Porsche's first mass-produced sports car, the 356 and the 911, which debuted in 1963, were known for their rear-engine, rear-wheel drive layout, while company founder Dr. Ferdinand Porsche could have gone a different route, as he was one of the first engineers to note the balance and steering advantages of a midship design. You see, over a decade before the 356 debuted, Porsche developed a midship racing car dubbed the P-Wagon. This was a project commissioned by Auto Union, an amalgamation of 4 German automakers. The decision to use a midship engine improved control was revolutionary for its time. In fact, Dr. Porsche even tried to use a midship chassis for the Porsche 356 prototype. Ultimately given an RR layout, the 356 had to be modified to meet various race regulations and is still one of the most stunning Porsches ever in my opinion. Looking to build a more pure racing model for competitions, the 550 Spyder was produced. Weighing in at a feathery 500 kilogram, it was designed so that the front engine sat directly behind the driver's seat. Having competed on such big stages such as a Mille Miglia and the 24 Hours of Le Mans. The 550 Spyder is a racing car with great historical importance for Porsche. One model that can trace its lineage to the 550 Spyder is the Porsche Boxster, which debuted in 1996, as well as its coupe iteration, the Cayman, the roofed body of which ensured enhanced rigidity. This GT4 series car is based off the Cayman GT4 Club Sport and is absolutely stunning, by the way. Is a production car that allows you to experience, obviously, the midship feel. And this 918 Spyder from 2013, well, it's another historic midship Porsche. Not only did it inherit a midship package established by Porsche with a 550, its name suggests it's the offspring of the 917 and the 919 hybrid 2 Le Mans heroes, combining a race-derived midship V8 with 2 electric motors. It employs an all-wheel drive system. From a technical standpoint, it is a next-generation sports car that is uniquely Porsche. Among the many historic midship Porsches out there, these are the ones of your garage that simply cannot do without. So it's time to take it to the track for its first ever event. So I actually jumped into arcade because it does usually give you quite a nice variety of cars from around the same kind of power or kind of time period. So as you can see here, we've got a absolutely awesome classic grid at Willow Springs, one of my favorite tracks for classic race cars. As you can see, we've got a few other Porsches in here, as well as a couple of Mercedes and the Aston Martins as well. Another car which I don't actually own, which I really need to just get around to buying. So straight away we're going to try and go on the attack. Obviously we don't have much power, we're not expecting to be like the fastest thing on the planet. However, this car is really actually light. You know, that 500 kilogram is not a lie. It feels like an absolute feather. You know, when you're kind of taking it through the corners, you can really throw it through, and it's still got them awesome, what I like to refer to as kind of like frog headlights that were eventually used on stuff like the 911s and such. And it, to me, it just screams Porsche at the front. Absolutely stunning looking machine. Now, in terms of, you know, trying to get on with it and try and get on the attack, we're just kind of, you know, maintaining positions whilst trying to, you know, work our way through, mainly in the corners, because that's where this car seems to have a great advantage. Obviously, the AI are quite a bit quicker in a straight line. I'd say this is probably the slowest of the bunch in terms of its straight line speed. It really cannot compete through the faster sections. However, through those tighter sections, when you're kind of up on the hill, absolutely awesome. The car really shines and, you know, kind of shows what it's all about. So as you can see, we're going to go straight up the inside of about 3 cars, so a couple of the Astons and one of the Mercedes. We're going to get a little bit wide there and run onto the desert and the sand, but we are going to manage to keep it going. We're going to follow another one of the Porsches up ahead, but we're going to quite easily dispatch of that. In fact, we're going to actually go side by side with it. We're going to take to the sand a little bit. You're going to see here, we're just going to go up over the curb, get a bit of dust kicking everywhere, a bit of time on 2 wheels, and yeah, eventually dispatch of that Porsche quite quickly. Now up ahead you can see we've got a bunch of Aston Martins actually in the distance, but we still do have a Mercedes and an Aston Martin here, as well as one more Porsche to get by. So we're just going to hang on to the back of them, try and get the move done up the inside of here, try and get a bit more cleanly, unlike last time where we, you know, essentially got ourselves in the sand. And yeah, we are going to manage to pull it off this time much more smoothly, and we're actually going to run up alongside another one of the 550 Porsche Spyders, which is taking part in this race. We're going to get past them quite easily, and they are really kind of no trouble. Same with the Mercedes, they're no trouble to get past. It just seems to be the Aston Martins, as soon as you kind of get out of the twisty sections and more onto, as one of the Porsches gets nudged there, onto the longer straights, yeah, those things eat you up. The speed on those things felt like it was kind of, you know, as if you were putting a Mini Cooper up, you know, versus a Tomahawk. But we are going to manage to get a move done on one of them. We've got 2 more to get past before we, you know, hopefully get to that big, you know, first place that we're aiming for. We're going to follow this one quite easily. We're going to try again to make a move up the inside, because that's where we've got the advantage through the corners. We're going to slide it up the inside, obviously the car being so small. One thing to note with this car, I love how the driver just feels so big in comparison to the car. It's absolutely hilarious. We're going to run on the back of the leader, and we're going to try and get the move done actually on the outside, but we just do not have the top speed. We're going to have to stay in that slipstream to try and keep us ahead of the other 2 Astons, and we're going to drop quite a bit back off the leader. As you can see, going into turn 1, he's just absolutely poured on us, while the P3 and P4 do actually close up on us. Now we do have a bit of an advantage through the corners. Like I've said, we seem to able to kind of hold it there, and eventually we are going to get our move done up the inside of the Aston Martin. He's going to try and do a switchback. It's not going to pull off for him. We get a better drive out the corner, and now all we need to do is really just kind of maintain this gap we've got. Obviously, we do have a couple more longer straights coming up where the Aston Martin's essentially just going to be able to overtake us nice and easily. As you can see, as we get into the long sweeping right-hander, that thing is almost on the back of us. In fact, all 3 of them are pretty close to us. So we're just holding on for dear life as we go through the corner one final time. I hope to God it's enough to get us across that finish line. We're absolutely pushing at this point in this plucky little Porsche, and it looks like we've almost got it done. But then the top speed kicks in at those Aston Martins. As you can see, we're going to go across the line side by side. Who got it? Honestly, at that finishing line, I actually thought I'd been overtaken. But as you're going to see in a second, we did actually manage to hold on for the win in the plucky little Porsche, taking the win by 0.020. of a second, which is just unbelievable. It's the closest gap I think I've ever had with the AI. So we did finally take the win in the Porsche. So that's going to be it. I thought I'd just make a little bit of a video of this car because I've been waiting for it for so long, and at the same time I was not expecting absolutely, you know, insane speed from it or anything like that, and it did finally complete my 100% collection once again, in terms of having everything done within GT7. So I just kind of wanted to do a little video, you know, just making out that, you know, it's back, you know. So if you're like me and you've been in that position of waiting for months for this car, yeah, and as well as kind of just driving it and appreciating it, because a lot of people kind of sleep on these classic cars, but you know, they're an absolute joy to drive. So that's going to be it for this video. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. Thank you so much for tuning in. Big shout out to my channel members. Big shout out to everyone leaving support recently. It's been absolutely amazing. I'm finally getting that motivation back for GT7. So yeah, don't forget to do all of the usual stuff, the like, commenting and all that. Check out my sponsors down below, and I'll see you all in the next one. Take care, guys. Peace.